Hey everyone, welcome back to Helping Make Sense. I wanted to do a quick video on things that you might not realize you're wasting money on. I think there's a lot of importance in having a general awareness of your spending. This kind of goes back to budgeting and just knowing what's coming in, what's going out. As our lives are busy and we have a lot to think about, swiping the card and spending on minor things here and there, or even bigger items, can kind of become a secondary thought. So I just wanted to go through this quick list, give some thoughts on each of the items so that hopefully you can start to think about, am I wasting money where I could be saving a little more? So the first item on the list is the daily coffee run. I talked about this in another video, sometimes called the latte effect, where if you're spending $5 every weekday for coffee when you could just do it at home for free, that's going to add up pretty quickly. So 5 times 5 days a week, that's $25 times 4 weeks in a month or thereabouts. $100 a month. Again, it's not a huge amount in the big picture, but if it's an opportunity where you could be saving that money just by making your coffee yourself at home, could potentially have pretty significant long-term effects. Item number 2 is food delivery apps. Super convenient, super comfortable, where you just go onto your phone and you get food delivered to your house from one of your favorite restaurants or vendors. But there's always, as we all know, there's surcharges, the food is marked up, there's delivery fees, and then you tip on top of that. So what you're actually paying for the cost of the meal ends up being 2 or 3 times what you would have paid if you had either gone to the restaurant or cooked at home. Staying with the theme of food here, brand name groceries is number 3. So as you're going through the grocery store, you might see the store brand next to the name brand or the more recognized marketed product. You're generally going to save by getting the store brand. There's probably not going to be that much of a difference as far as quality goes. Again, this isn't to say buy generic, don't buy organic. I'm not trying to have health compromised as a part of this recommendation, but when there's very little difference between a name brand and a store brand, especially from an ingredients perspective, maybe err on the side of getting the store brand just to, again, kind of add that opportunity to save money. Number 4 on this list is one that I'm really passionate about: extended warranties, particularly on vehicles. I mentioned this in another video, but just keep in mind, in order for a company to offer a product, it has to be profitable for them in the long run. So by you purchasing an extended warranty to the tunes of thousands of dollars, if you use it, there's still a deductible on it, and you probably would have made out statistically better off had you not gotten the warranty and just paid cash for whatever repair was needed. Number 5 is gym memberships that you don't really use, and I would couple this with any type of subscription that you don't use or use very infrequently. Again, if you're going to the gym once a month, once every 2 months, it's probably not worth paying that fee, even if it's $15, $20, $25, because it's going to nothing, right? If you saw $10, $15 on the ground, you'd pick it up. This is the same effect as that. Subscriptions, along with that idea, you might be paying for a subscription that you initially had a free trial for that maybe you forgot about. Definitely want to be on top of how much you're being charged every month, even if it's just a little bit. As you can kind of see as we go through this list, $5 a month here, $20 a month there, $15 a month there for little things, that can add up really, really quick. And all it takes is just your awareness of, okay, how can I get control of what's going out to minimize that, especially if it's something that I'm not utilizing in general. The 6th item on the list, this is a little bit bigger, but buying new cars instead of used. This goes back to this whole notion of keeping up with the Joneses or wanting to impress people that probably don't care as much as you think they do. Y'all, new cars, unless you can pay cash for it, generally not worth it. Remember, cars go down in value. So when you put out $10,000, $15,000 for a car, maybe more, by the time you trade that in, even if it's a short while later, it's going to be significantly less than that. Probably by 20-30% at least. So just keep that in mind, that when you're purchasing a vehicle, please don't view it as an asset or something that increases in value. Please remind yourself that it goes down in value. And again, particularly if you're leasing it or financing it, that's money every month that's going towards something that's losing value, whereas you could be investing that money and your money is compounding and growing in your favor. Number 7, this is one you might not think about. Bottled water. If you have a filter system at home, or even if you're in an area that provides good water, good clean water from the tap, there's no sense in buying bottled water. Yes, it's convenient to grab on the go. Maybe have 5 or 6 plastic bottles at home that you can reuse and recycle. But as far as frequently buying the 24 or 30 packs of water, it's kind of a waste of money, and it's also not great for the environment. It takes a little extra effort to fill the water here and there, or even not recycle the bottle, but it's going to be better off in the long term for you and for the environment. The next item I wanted to touch on really quickly, this kind of goes back to the subscription idea, but big cable packages, especially when they're bundled, you're probably paying for hundreds of channels when you use a very small subset of that. This is something that takes a little bit of research side by side to compare what a streaming service or a cable package is offering and what you're actually utilizing. So do a little bit of homework. Again, it might take you 45 minutes or so to determine, okay, this is the right streaming service or platform that has what I want to watch and enjoy on it. And then you can perhaps get rid of that larger cable package or other streaming services that either duplicate what you already see or that you're not using at all. The last item I wanted to touch on is just a general philosophy of keeping up appearances. You might feel compelled to get a nice car, go on fancy vacations, just so you can feel like you're getting the life that you want or you feel you deserve. Where that comes from, probably a lot of social media, maybe friends and family who have spent a lot recently on a vacation or whatnot. But just keep in mind that what you see that they purchase, that's only part of the equation. We don't know how much they spent on these things. We don't know if they financed it. Maybe they're also in massive debt. So as hard as it can be, try not to put pressure on yourself to buy things, whether it's, again, a vacation, a luxury brand of apparel or clothing or accessories, because trying to keep up with that lifestyle might give you some temporary satisfaction in the moment, but it's really going to harm and undermine your long-term wealth building journey. So just to wrap up, there's 3 themes that are kind of addressed in this list that I really want you all to think about how it pertains to your personal finance life. The first is convenience, right? We all know that convenience is going to have a cost, whether it's something being delivered, something that's close by, whatever it may be. You're going to pay a surcharge for that. I'm not saying never do it, but I want you to be aware that when you're paying for convenience rather than going to pick something up, you're paying more than you would have, and that could be eating away at your monthly expense. Second major theme is identity and status, right? So you want to get the coolest, nicest, newest item, or you want to go on a vacation and post it to social media to show everybody that, you know, you're enjoying your life just as much as they are. Very significant spend or potential spend when it comes to those types of purchases. Again, whether it's a car, whether it's a vacation, a home, please don't take on crippling debt and be house poor or overspend on something when the need for it is just to keep up with appearances. The third major theme in this list is this notion of it's just a little spend. When we think like that, things like the coffee, the subscriptions, it doesn't feel like much in the moment, and that's kind of by design, right? $15 a month for a gym membership or $30 a month for a certain streaming service, right? It doesn't feel like that much in that moment, and if it's something that you use frequently, please continue to do so, right? I'm not saying don't get subscriptions, but I do want you to look at your spend every month and determine, all right, am I getting out of this what I'm putting into it? Again, if you're spending money on something, we want you to get something back. So just make sure you kind of have the awareness for yourself that if I'm spending something that I'm not getting anything out of, should I have it? So let me know in the comments if you have anything that you spend on that you're like, I don't know if I should spend on this. Let me know if I left something off the list. Again, this is very general. It's really just to help get you all thinking, where are some opportunities to save money? Because again, in the culture we live where we're always on our phones, we pay for convenience and we like nice things, and there's a pressure to kind of make sure we have those things. Financial awareness and budgeting tends to take a backseat. So as always, share any additional thoughts with me in the comments. More than happy to speak to those. Suggestions for the next video, always looking for those as well. If you've made it this far, thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.